Okay, in this tutorial we're going to be discussing the opportunity or the option that you have to source and fulfill your own product. Most people that think of direct wholesale purchasing, they think of owning their own web-based or mail order business. To make wholesale purchases, you'll need a resale license and establish a relationship with wholesalers or manufacturers. Orders can be as low as $100 with wholesale distributors, but most are closer to $500 or $1,000. If you're purchasing items directly from the manufacturer, their minimum orders are often as high as 1,000 to 5,000 pieces of the item you're interested in. It is important to have a good understanding of the supply chain before you attempt to purchase products. At the top, you'll find manufacturers, the factories that produce the products in extremely large quantities. Some sell directly to retailers, but many prefer to deal only with large wholesale distributors. Let's go over the pros and the cons really quickly of self-sourcing. Some of the pros and advantages to doing your own sourcing: number one, you maintain better profit margins. If you can find a wholesaler to deal with directly, chances are you can get the price a lot lower because you're not dealing with the increases that the middlemen charge. Another advantage is you can have a good control on quality. You can actually make sure that your shipments are going out on time. You can ensure that packaging is done properly. You can make sure when each item comes to you directly that it's quality and that any damaged items or problematic items are returned and not shipped out. And finally, you have a broader access to products to sell. If you're dealing directly with manufacturers and you want to source your own products, if you have the capital and you have the resources available, you can pretty much sell whatever product that you want to sell on the internet and have access to it. There are some cons, however, to self-sourcing. We want to address those. Number one, it's more upfront capital required. As we mentioned before, that you're going to spend at least $500 to $1,000 in most cases on a minimum order. Sometimes you have to order up to 1,000 to 5,000 pieces of a product, and if you're dealing with a product that's wholesale cost is $10 a piece, you can see how you're quickly looking at $10,000 to $50,000 in upfront capital. Like I said, if you have the money, it's a great way to maintain better profit margins and, in the long run, make more money. You do have less flexibility when you're doing self-sourcing in the fact that you have to be tied to a physical inventory and ship out your products yourselves, or you have to pay somebody to do it for you. With other options like drop shipping, joint ventures, you can be on a beach in Maui and your business can still be running. If you're doing your own sourcing, you have to be there to do shipments, or you have to pay somebody to do it for you, or your business shuts down whenever you want to take a vacation. And then finally, there's more liability. If you're shipping the product, if you're sourcing the product, customers have problems or complaints, they're going to come back to you, and you don't have anyone really that you can pass the buck to, or anyone else that you can go to blame. So it gives more liability and places more liability on you as the retailer if you're directly sourcing the products. Now, as we mentioned, the kind of order right now to how things go, there's manufacturers and factories, then there's wholesale distributors, and then they wholesale to you, which is the retailer, and then you sell it through your website to the consumer. If you decide to purchase items from a wholesale distributor, you can expect discounts around 50% off the retail price. Discounts from a manufacturer can be as much as 75 to 80% off the retail price. Some industries, such as electronics, of course, are going to be subject to smaller profit margins. And don't forget to factor in the cost of shipping when you're making projections about the profitability of your chosen products. You may want to purchase sofas from China at 50% off the U.S. retail price, but with the cost of shipping on such a heavy item, your profit margins would be significantly reduced. On the other hand, something smaller, lightweight, such as a DVD or book, would be extremely affordable to ship. If you're interested in purchasing wholesale or directly from the manufacturer, there are some sites that you can go to. The first site is Alibaba, then there's TradeKey and ThomasNet. These websites can help you locate representatives and product listings for a variety of manufacturers. You should always do extensive research on a company to validate them before arranging to make a major purchase. When selecting a supplier, ask for a free sample of the product and also ask for references. When you get a sample of the product, you can check the quality of goods that you're going to be purchasing and reselling to your clients. When you check with references, you can find out exactly how well the supplier does at fulfilling their end of the bargain and how quickly and reliable they are in getting you the product. So you may want to check out these websites. It's very simple, very easy. They're very self-explanatory. Encourage you to check those out if you get a chance. The next thing I want to go over are the questions that you want to ask potential suppliers once you find and locate them through those sites. So the first question you're going to want to ask is, I'm an internet retailer. May I resell your products? Many wholesalers and manufacturers are willing and eager to have web businesses sell their products. Some wholesalers, however, manufacturers refuse to work with web-based retailers, particularly those who don't have physical stores. You may encounter this with manufacturers of luxury brands and others as well. Many suppliers aren't convinced that an internet retailer can sell as much volume as a brick-and-mortar establishment. Explain your knowledge in marketing and expectations for success. If they refuse to work with you, don't be discouraged. Just move on to another potential supplier. Occasionally, manufacturers may deal or refuse to deal directly with retailers or require extremely large minimum orders. But you'll find most manufacturers are going to be willing to work with you. The next question would be, who are your wholesale distributors? Most manufacturers are happy to provide you with this information, though it may take a few calls to find someone who has the contact details. In some cases, you'll be given the contact information for a smaller division of the company or a sales representative who could then help you place orders for their products. So if the manufacturer doesn't sell directly to you, ask who their major distributors are and go that route. The next question you're going to want to ask is, what are your wholesale terms? Every company you work with should have established wholesale terms that outline things like minimum orders, both initial orders and repeat orders, payment terms, shipment times, among other important details. Can you apply for credit terms? Many businesses will allow you to receive products as much as 30 to 90 days before payment is due. Is it possible to pay with a credit card, thereby accumulating reward points with your credit card provider? Is there a minimum monthly or annual order amount? Is there a maximum or minimum advertised price rule? Sometimes manufacturers will require you to maintain a certain pricing level in your advertisements. This typically means that all online listings must fall within that price range. Although this can limit your profits, it also ensures that pricing isn't driven down by your competition. So we covered that one. Do you offer product or video for web or retail use? You'll find that many distributors and manufacturers can provide you with images for use on your website, saving you the trouble of taking your own product photos. Request web-optimized images. These are smaller and faster loading files. You can usually have these images emailed to you or sent along with your order on CD or DVD. Next question would be, do you provide a product data spreadsheet? Many suppliers will be happy to provide you with a spreadsheet outlining the product basics like name, manufacturer, part number, SKU, description, suggested retail price, UPC number, and other details. These spreadsheets make it easy to import products into common shopping carts. Next question would be, how are products shipped and how much will shipping costs be on a per unit basis? Depending on the product and shipping distance, the costs can vary significantly. It's important to have a reliable estimate up front and then factor these costs into your calculations. Let's go over some of the ways that you can find different wholesalers. Before we do that, take some time to think about other issues that may come up in working with a supplier. What happens if the product arrives damaged? What happens if they break once the customer has the item? Will you have to get it back and then return the item, which is frequently more expensive? Or will they allow you to have it sent directly from the customer back to the manufacturer or wholesaler? But there are lots of different ways to find these wholesalers, and it's a lot easier than most people think. The first place to check is search engines. If you have a specific product in mind, just try searching for that product's name plus words like wholesaler, wholesale, or distributor. You can check popular shopping sites like eBay and Amazon. Sometimes other retailers will list the names of their wholesale distributor in their product listings. So you can check eBay listings and Amazon. Trade publications. Nearly all industries have their own trade publications, which are magazines that can introduce you to many of the most reputable wholesalers in your chosen industry. This also can help you learn about the latest trends. If you go to tradepub.com, you can get a list of all the industry trade magazines and how to subscribe. You can check out trade shows. Now, going back really quickly to trade publications, many small distributors are listed in trade publications, and they can offer significantly cheaper advertising opportunities than listing fees on larger sites such as Thomasnet. So you want to look at the trade publications sometimes even before you go to Alibaba, Thomasnet, or TradeKey. Now with trade shows, in addition to having their own magazines, nearly every industry has annual trade shows. If you're just getting started, these events will give you the opportunity to consult with hundreds of professionals throughout the course of the event. Manufacturers bring in new products and offer special pricing arrangements available only at trade shows. You can visit websites such as tsnn.com to let you search for trade shows by industry. Register for the trade show, attend and collect product samples and business cards, find new products unknown to your competition. Manufacturers and suppliers are usually willing to talk at trade shows, and they're willing to talk about your chance to promote their products. Another thing you can do is just shop. Another method of locating wholesale companies is just to simply browse stores and flip over the products to view the names of the manufacturer. You won't generally find the manufacturer information for privately branded products, for example, Sharper Image branded gadgets, but you'll be surprised to find how many products are available to you as a small business owner. If you don't find a product you like, look for one that is similar to what you're looking for. Check the manufacturer. They may have an entire line of related products. Next thing you want to do is just sell what you know. When considering what to sell, a great place to start is researching fields you are familiar with along with their products. You may also know someone who offers wholesale pricing on a particular item. Sell what you know. Don't be tempted to forego the usual analysis of the product in favor of convenience. Finally, liquidations and closeouts. The liquidation and closeout market is a subset of regular wholesale purchasing. Just like a regular wholesale purchase, you'll need a resale license and you'll have to carry the inventory. The margins, however, are generally higher in the 60 to 90% off retail range. The liquidation business model can work quite well for those who don't mind constantly updating product listings and keeping up with product trends. eBay is a great sales outlet for those who hope to deal in liquidation and closeout products. The downside to liquidation and closeout is that many of the items are only available until the liquidator runs out. If you find something that works, you may not be able to get a steady supply of it in the future. It may also be difficult to locate the most popular products in closeout channels, since those generally sell out before they find their way to a closeout dealer. You may find liquidations of entire businesses. In cases of bankruptcy, the entire inventory of a retailer will be sold at a discount, including many popular and successful products. To locate liquidation and closeout products, you can use sources like surplus.net and closeoutcentral.com. Many retailers use eBay exclusively for purchasing lots of liquidated items. In summary, internet business owners who are able to purchase their products in advance, store those products, and fulfill the orders themselves will typically make much more profit per sale than someone who uses an alternative sourcing method. The benefit to using a wholesaler or distributor is increased revenue and profit margin on each sale. The downside to using this kind of fulfillment relationship is that you typically have larger upfront costs. You have to buy the inventory up front, store the inventory, and then sit on that inventory until it sells. Thank you for joining us in this tutorial. The next tutorial will discuss the pros and cons of letting somebody else ship and fulfill the product for you.